Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the lawsuit accusing a former deputy sheriff of sexual coercion in exchange for legal favors has a familiar party. And the Pikeville VFW brought its community partners to the table, inviting area veterans to stand down.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here on this September 24th, 6:30 this morning. And Megan, it's a rainy start to our day, to our fall, probably to the entire week at this point.
Well, thankfully not for the entire rest of your week. Now, if you're talking work week, yeah, we're still going to see rain through Friday, but at least this weekend we're starting to calm down a little bit. Here's what we're seeing outside your door this morning on that live pinpoint Doppler radar. Definitely a rainy start to your day. We had a lot of rain earlier, but since then we had that second round come through in our southwestern counties. That's what we're watching over the course of the next couple hours as it moves more to our eastern counties. And as we head outside, we're looking at a mixture of the mid to upper 60s, but as you can see, those roadways are definitely wet in both Hazard and London. Can't get a good view in Pikeville, but they did see that rain this morning as well. In terms of temperatures, though, we will be warming up into the upper 70s and low 80s around that 4 o'clock time frame. Amelia.
One person is dead after a crash in Laurel County. It happened around 11:30 Monday morning on Kentucky 552. Deputies say 29-year-old Jerry Honeycutt lost control of his motorcycle and hit a pickup truck. Honeycutt died at the scene. No one inside the truck was injured. A southern Kentucky community is mourning a teen killed in a golf cart crash over the weekend. The crash happened in Lincoln County. 13-year-old Dawson Rapp was killed when the golf cart he was riding in skidded off the roadway and overturned. The 16-year-old driving the golf cart was injured. Investigators say speed played a factor in this deadly crash.
Based on the investigation and the investigating deputy, he determined that it was operating too fast for the roadway conditions at the time.
Relatives say they started a GoFundMe to help with funeral expenses. You can find a link to that in this story on our website, WYMT.com. And we are told Southern Oaks Funeral Home in Somerset is handling arrangements. A man accused of stealing from a gas station in Bell County is still on the run. Take a look at your screen now. On Sunday, state troopers say Daniel Arthur walked into Howard's Market, waited for an employee to go to the bathroom, and then reportedly stole money from the register. State troopers found Arthur's car Monday evening in the Cannon community of Knox County. They believe he ran into the woods. If you know anything or know where he is, you're asked to call 911. Several Kentucky communities are mourning the loss of a mother and daughter who were killed in a stabbing last week. Kayla Blake and her daughter, Kennedy McWhorter, were found dead in their home last Friday. Joshua Cottrell was arrested and charged with their murders. Friends of Blake tell us that she and Cottrell were in a relationship. Yesterday, Alyssa Williams spoke with those who knew Kennedy.
You lose such a bright, shiny star, in this world, and, you immediately go to why, and then after you deal with that, it's what am I going to tell my daughter and these other girls in the community, that were her teammates. How do you explain that to a 13-year-old child?
When it comes to favorites, Wes Coldiron says Kennedy McWhorter fit the bill. He says he was her softball coach for several years and that she was their star hitter and played any position she was asked to. He adds, above all, she was a great friend.
It was beautiful the other night at her vigil. You look around and see 300 people standing there at the relationship she made with people and the people that she impacted. It's more than just softball. It's a family.
This loss has also been hard on many students. That's why Rowan County Middle and high schools are providing grief counselors. The behavioral health organization Pathways has representatives at those schools. There's also something parents can do for their grieving students at home.
Be prepared to talk about the concepts of death and what that might look like in your family system. They're going to have questions, and making sure that you're providing a safe space for them where they can talk about whatever fears that they have or their emotions.
Coldiron says it's going to be a tough journey ahead for Kennedy's teammates as they navigate this loss, but he says they're choosing to focus on the good memories they shared with her that they'll be able to carry with them always.
Our job from now on is to not let Kennedy's memory die, and it will not not die as long as I'm here.
In Rowan County, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
Police have not revealed a possible motive for the murders. Cottrell is being held in McCracken County on a $1 million bond. A civil lawsuit in Letcher County is moving forward. That lawsuit accusing a former deputy sheriff of sexual coercion in exchange for legal favors has a familiar party. In 2022, a woman accused a former court security office for the sheriff's office, Ben Fields, of coercing her into having sex with him in exchange for waiving the fee of her home incarceration ankle monitor. Former Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Steins is said to have given some tense testimony in the suit against Fields days before that shooting. Well, the Pikeville VFW brought its community partners to the table yesterday, inviting area veterans to stand down. The third annual Veteran Stand Down was hosted at Cornerstone Christian Church, bringing a host of resources to veterans in need. From mental health services to VA benefit information, the event provides awareness and access. Organizers say it also serves as a way to provide community and socialization to veterans who feel alone.
One of the things we need to do is try to get the word out to our veterans and make sure they know that this is available. We do this every year around October, and we want to make sure they're aware that this is for them to come learn what opportunities, what resources are available.
To keep up with the Post and be part of its outreaches, you can follow VFW Post 3769 on Facebook. Well, new provider will soon be in charge of billing when you cross the toll bridges between Kentucky and Indiana. The Joint Board for the Louisville Southern Indiana Ohio River Bridges project says it's searching for a new reliable provider. It's currently under an agreement with Electronic Transaction Consultants, or ETC, for the RiverLink tolling system. The change comes as RiverLink is dealing with long wait times for service providers because of staffing issues.
The customer service experience managed by ETC has not met expectations, and ETC has not been able to achieve the system's acceptance milestone, a critical milestone. Change Order 7 will allow us to terminate the contract with ETC early.
The state will settle an agreement with ETC with a $2 million reimbursement. The contract with ETC will remain in place through July 31st of 2028. Well, the Letcher County Airport Board has secured more than $2 million from the FAA to design a new airfield in Isom. The project has been in the works since 2004, and board leaders say the design will help lay the foundation for a modern facility that can boost transportation, economic development, and tourism. The airfield design will be handled in partnership with engineering firm Goodwin Mills, the Kentucky Department of Aviation, and the FAA. Well, Knott County is continuing to prepare for the worst after multiple floods, winter storms, and other severe weather events. I spoke with officials who say it's important to stay prepared because life-threatening weather events can happen when we least expect them. Since 2022, Knott County has seen 4 weather-related emergency declarations, making it crucial for mountain communities to become proactive instead of reactive.
We're trying to get things lined up to where when it hits, because there's going to be a next one, is that we can say we're prepared the best we can be to go forward and move through this disaster.
I sat down with Knott County Emergency Management Director James Sandland, who tells me the county is now implementing the More Safe Nights weather radio for folks who are deaf and hard of hearing.
They're most vulnerable when they go to sleep. And so this allows that motion of being able to vibrate, shake their pillow, a strobe light. And then it also has got a light up text display box that tells them what the emergency is going on.
Knott County has made some other big strides in the world of weather preparedness. This includes an early warning system here at the Mine-Made Adventure Park, so folks know when and if a storm is coming. They've also recently been certified as a storm-ready county by the National Weather Service.
You know, they're prepared well for storms that are upcoming that, you know, will eventually move through.
People from throughout the country come to the adventure park to explore Appalachia. Sandlin says having the early warning system will help visitors to stay alert.
The earlier warning system, or the warning that we can give people, the more people and lives we can save by letting them know.
Staying one step ahead before severe weather strikes. To apply for the More Safe Nights weather radio, you can go online to kcdhh.ky.gov. With more severe weather possible this week, officials are urging you to take safety precautions. Rain-slick roads are a hazard for drivers. That's why officials suggest to buckle up, reduce your speed, and turn your lights on. One meteorologist has a saying that many think of when it comes to driving in the rain.
Turn around, don't drown. You know, if there's water covering a roadway, you don't know how deep it is exactly. Just find an alternative route. You know, don't drive through it.
Kentucky State Police Trooper Matt Gayhart says it's best to limit distractions while driving and follow the law. That means putting cell phones away and staying buckled up.
High temperatures for the day will be in the upper 70s and low 80s, but the main thing that we're all thinking about is not only the fog that we're watching as we're heading out the door, but also those rain chances as we're going through the morning hours and throughout the rest of your day. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar. Most of the storm activity is in our southwestern counties, ranging from Wayne County to Pulaski County and down into portions of Claiborne County, Tennessee. Now that will continue to move throughout all of the WYMT viewing area, giving us chances for heavy rain across Appalachia. That's why we're under those first alert weather days. Here's why you need to know as you're heading out the door: that bus stop forecast, upper 60s on the way to school. Of course, those rain chances. And as you're heading home, we're still looking at some chances for scattered showers, temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. Amelia.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:41. September is Childhood Cancer Month. Currently, about 500,000 cancer survivors were first diagnosed under the age of 20.
Travel